Welcome to the Amazing Reviews podcast for season 37. This is going to be the Amazing Race 37 preview show. Joining me tonight, yours truly, Hurls. Joining me tonight is none other than Calbert. Calbert, what's up?
What's going on, everybody?
Goldberg will not be joining us tonight, but he will be on throughout the season, and it's sure to be a good one. And sorry we did not continue the season 36 coverage. There was just with two seasons in 2024, it was a little tough with the schedule. But this season, we are definitely going to be covering the whole season and not just the preview episode like we did last season. So, but I would have to say, though, Calvert, if we're just recapping season 36, I don't think it was that good.
No, it wasn't. It ended bad again. I finished second again. Hey, Levy, Death, Texas, and I'm going to finish second. That's what it's going to say on my tombstone.
Yeah. Well, I think there was a couple problems with season 36. I think overall, just staying in South America for the most part. It just, I don't know, it was missing something. I also felt like it was too big of an advantage for teams that could speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of missed that going to other regions of the world. Also, it was the last COVID season. So I don't really like how they just have the 15-minute, breaks in between.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think, I don't know. I was okay with those seasons when we were going through the COVID. But then if you watch it now, it's like, the game is not meant to be played like that. So, but I mean, Ricky and Cesar, I mean, they definitely earned that victory. There's no question.
Yeah, certainly.
Mm-hmm. They dominated.
Yeah. I'm hoping this year isn't quite like that because, I mean, we liked a little bit of variety, right?
Yes. And just from the early standpoint, this season seems like could be anyone's ball game. I mean, just from the pictures, and that's all we're going by. Pictures and what they do for a living,
right?
And their age. I mean, this could be a very wide open season, but you really never know until you watch that first episode,
right?
And then sometimes you don't even know then. So, but another weird thing that I thought about going into this season was CBS.com did not have a casting, or at least I didn't see it. They didn't have a cast preview, which they usually do, unless I missed it. I don't know if you saw it. You tried looking, but I could not find, generally they have profiles of all the teams.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
I didn't see that on there. I just saw the promo for this kind of season 2 weeks ago. Like, it just kind of stuck up on me. It's going to be fun, but yeah, I'm used to going to see, and then having the producer ask them a couple questions and kind of getting to know the contestants a little bit better. I mean, it's not nothing crazy, but I did not see that. So
yes, there was nothing of that. So it's like, I mean, are they just kind of running through the motions as far as promotion with this show?
I think so.
I mean, I just think they could have done a little bit more, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm not complaining. We still have the show, and obviously they still have faith in it to keep it going. So,
right.
So, Calbert, I don't know where we're starting. Do you know where what city they're starting in?
It's a good question. I do not know that off the top of my head.
And that is fine. You don't have to answer because I mean, not a huge deal. I know there's a minute preview on YouTube for the start of it, but I kind of just want to go in blind.
Right.
So, and that's fine. But I just know that this season is going to be around the world. I know it's going to be, different countries, different continents. That's what we want, right?
Right.
And I have nothing against South America. I think it's great, but I just don't want the whole season to be in South America. So
right.
So
they are okay. It is traditional. They are starting in LA. I figured as much. Okay. So they're going to go from LA, travel through Hong Kong, Japan, Indonesia, UAE, Bulgaria, France, and Portugal. Before we return to the United States, and this is obviously isn't a spoiler, but I'll just tell you where we're going to finish this year. Miami.
Sure. Okay. That's good. That works. That's, I mean, we're going to Asia, which I don't think we've gone to Asia in a bit. And then UAE, you said UAE, right?
Yeah, the United
Arab Emirates.
Yep.
That's cool. Okay, so we get a little Middle East. All right, get a little bit of everything, honestly. I mean, at least we get three different off the hand, we get three different continents. So
right.
So that's good. Glad it's kind of returning to form. I love Japan, so I love the Asian ones. Those are always usually good. So
right.
All right, let's go through the teams here, and then at the end we'll do our power rankings as usual, and then we'll give our picks. Since Goldberg will not be making a pick, since he likes to look at the spoilers ahead of time, his wins have been null and void. I'm declaring that right now. And if he wants to come on here and say he doesn't look at spoilers, well, I don't believe him.
To be fair, I tried this a couple seasons ago, and I didn't believe him then either.
Yeah, that's true. And then the one season he didn't win, there must have not been spoilers out.
Right.
So
he's still good. We're still gonna have him on.
But yeah, he's still gonna be.
We don't hit him much.
Yeah, exactly. He's still gonna be on and give his opinion. So
yeah.
So all right, let's start off here with the cast of Amazing Race 37. First team that pops up is going to be Alyssa Borden and Josiah Borden. Alyssa's 31 and Josiah's 32, and they are both nurse anesthesiasts. Now, we had a team last season that were both nurse anesthesiasts.
Mm-hmm.
And they bickered quite a bit. Actually fought quite a bit.
Often.
Yes, they did. They were a team that, like, we didn't have a lot of that, like in a while, where a couple team where they just fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people didn't like them, but it was kind of refreshing actually to see a team like that, because we hadn't gotten one in a while. So so this team, just on the off chance, it says that they're friends. I guess they're not dating, but maybe they are. But who knows with these, all we get is a picture and a career, and that's about it. They say they're friends. So this team, I think, could go far. I mean, there's a guy-girl team. Guy-girl teams usually have a pretty good dynamic. But you never know. I mean, we don't really know. But I'd say the one thing is they both have the same career. So how different, are their skill sets, right?
Right. And just judging by the picture, I mean, Josiah looks like a relatively, buff dude. But like, if he has to, I'm thinking like if he has to, I'm just going to use an example, like roll a rock, X amount of feet. Can he do that? It's going to be interesting to see.
Stamina, right? You never know how good their stamina is going to be.
Yeah.
Any of these teams.
Correct.
But just from the pictures alone, they do both look like they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I think they're okay. So they're from Dallas and Denver. Okay, so they're Southwest kind of. Not that means anything, obviously, but I think they could go far. I think they have potential. I think if I'm looking at it, amongst these other teams, I'd say they're in the upper half.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I think I mean, I'm going to go with the old adage, and welcome back to the Amazing Race. Your age matters when you're doing this.
Yes.
They're younger, right? So They're
Oldest team to ever win was the Holderness family, and I think they were 45 and 46 or
it's a,
46 and 47.
it's a young man's game.
Yep.
You're gonna pretty much hear that from me, but I agree. Yeah, they're kind of towards my upper tier.
Yep. Agree. All right. Next we got Bernie Gutierrez and Kerrigan Skadden. Bernie is 31. She's a personal trainer. And Kerrigan Skadden is 33 and a spa educator. They are from Dallas and Denver. I'm sorry, but the nurse anesthesists are from Philadelphia. So.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I knew what you meant. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry. And we were just talking about this off air, how it was kind of confusing on the website. So I got bit by it a little bit there. But anyways, okay. Bernie and Kerrigan, they look pretty good shape for, their careers are interesting. They do have separate skill sets. I think Kerrigan looks pretty buff, actually. She actually probably can do some pretty physical tasks.
Sure.
Anything about this team, Calbert?
I think I would say they're middle of the pack right now. The personal trainer helps. I don't know what a spa educator is going to be able to. I mean, maybe swim. Now that I think about it, but I would say middle of the pack. Just judging by the picture.
Yeah, they're young, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how their IQ is going to be out on the raceway, but they have potential to go far. I don't think they're one of my lower teams. I don't know if they're one of my higher teams, but it just kind of depends on how their racing smarts are going to be. I think that's what's going to be the deciding factor. So, we had a team last year. I believe it was the girl team. They won the fast forward, I think, in the first episode. I can't remember their names, but they looked good until they weren't good, when it was about midway through the season. So, yeah. So who knows? I right now I got them probably middle of the pack as well. All right. Next we have Brett Hamby and Mark Romaine. Brett is 36. He's an acrobat. And Mark is a dancer / model. They're married Vegas performers, Lost Vegas. So, this team. They got some interesting skill sets for sure. Model, dancer.
Yep. They have
acrobat.
some very amazing race techniques that I think will help them. They're kind of towards my top. They're not my pick, but they're towards the top of the power rankings right now, because one of them's not going to be afraid of heights, and we know that dancing is involved in almost every season.
Yes. So is height challenges in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I think they're going to be very well coordinated. Any type of coordination. It doesn't even have to be dancing per se.
True.
I think even memorization tasks, I think they're going to be pretty good. I just from from the standpoint of watching this show now, this will be the 12th season that we've kind of been covering this. This team's top 5 for sure, with potential to be top 3 and to win the whole thing. So
right.
Yeah, this team kind of scares me. I'm not going to pick them, but they look like they're going to go pretty far. And they're like at that age too, where they still have their physical, ability, but they're also like a lot smarter.
Right.
So they kind of have both going for them.
Right.
So unless they get like U-turned or everyone kind of goes against them, I think this team's going to go pretty far. So.
Right.
So anyways. All right. Now this is an interesting one. We really not had this type of career really on this show. We got Carson McCauley. He's 28, a game streamer, and Jack Dodge, 27, game streamer. They are best friends and gamers from Brooklyn, New York. All right. So we've not really had game streamers on the Amazing Race before. We've had Team Rooster Teeth, who are covering video games, but
Mm-hmm.
not really game streamers. So, I mean, this team's young. They're younger, I should say. Not like super, super young, but I don't know what to think of this team
I think they're.
because, yeah.
Go, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go first because it's hard to put a thought to this team.
I think they could be, their friendship could be in trouble. They look like the team that could be like, oh, okay, well, we started out as best friends. I don't know if they finish out that way. I mean, they probably will, right? But I could see them button heads with each other because they're so young, and because, like, I mean, yes, video game streaming is very, very popular.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
how is
especially like playthroughs and walkthroughs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how is that gonna? Okay, so cool, memorization, that's fine.
Yeah.
They're good with that, but like usually in the beginning, it's not memorization. Usually, I mean, it is, but not usually the first episode.
Yeah.
So I could see them button heads with each other. I could see that.
I don't know if I get that from this team. I mean, they could, and they absolutely could. It just depends how competitive they are. Like,
Right.
is that
Right.
all they do? Like, are they that popular that they, make money just off game streaming? Maybe, because I know it's very popular. Twitch, and
Sure.
YouTube, but their skill sets kind of, I don't really know like what else they've done in their, their lives.
Right.
And game streaming, I mean, being out in the real world versus a video game, very two different things.
Very much so. Yep.
So I honestly think I'm not very high on this team.
I'm not.
But
Yep.
they could prove me wrong because of the fact that they do got the youth on their side. They're not, they're probably not the strongest team, but I mean, they're going to be able to run, I would
Right.
think.
Right.
So I don't think they're like the worst team, but I do have a lot of concerns about their life experience, basically. But if they do get a video game challenge, they are going to Japan after all.
True.
That's the home of video games, basically.
So we know that's going to be probably karaoke and video games. Sure.
It could be right. Right. How many times have we seen it? We've seen video games in Amazing Race. We've seen the Street Fighter, challenge. So if they get something like that, they're gonna ace it, I would think. So, and you know me, I love video games. I mean, I love it, but I don't know if that's your only thing you're doing. I have, concerns. So, but I'm open to the possibility that they could be a strong team.
Sure.
That's all I'll put them. So,
sure.
All right. Next, we got Courtney Ramsey and Jasmine Carey. Courtney is 33, registered nurse, and Jasmine Carey, 34, nurse practitioner from Leland, North Carolina. They're dating nurses. All right. So this team, nurses. What I do know is they are, they're called upon quite often, nurse practitioners as well. So, I think they are younger. To me, though, just from this picture, I don't know if they're in great shape. They are nurses, so they're obviously working around the clock, and they're very knowledgeable in the medical field. But Amazing Race, I don't know. What are you getting from this team, Calbert?
I got a middle of the pack. I mean, they could be another bickering couple. They're not in the best shape, but they're not.
They're not terrible. They're not in terrible shape by any means. Yeah. They just don't. To me, they look. I don't know. They don't look like they're in the best. You see some of the other girl teams, or even the other girls on the show.
Right. They would be the one. If they were to win, that would be the surprise of the year for me. I'll write that. Put that down. Timestamp it. If they win, I'll be very surprised.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I think they have some. I mean, they obviously going to have some smarts to them.
Right.
It just depends, like, how are the self-driving tasks going to be? You
Correct.
know, I think right now I don't. I have them middle to back half. I
Yep.
don't think they're going to be the first eliminated. I don't think they're going to be, that far down. But I think so. If we got 14, I'm going to say like 8 to 10 range. You
I can
know.
see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Mhm.
Sure. Yep.
So yeah, somewhere around there.
Right.
So, but yeah, we'll see. Could go either way. All right, next we got Ernest Cato and Bridget Cato. Ernest is 59. He's a retired chief of the Chicago Police Department, and Bridget Cato is an account supervisor. They are a father and daughter team from Chicago and Somerville, Massachusetts. Um, so, well, we had a police chief on, or at least a police officer on, what, last season?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep, we did, and I mean they weren't bad. They weren't bad at all. And
No.
I don't know if it was exactly. He was older too. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't because he wasn't in shape. I thought he did a
No.
pretty good job. They just
No.
kind of got stuck on a task.
Yeah, and the fact that the daughter in this case is an account supervisor, so that's math, right? We know math is
Yep.
going to be that might help them. I got them kind of the middle of the pack. I'm just concerned because he's 59,
Yeah.
and I mean, how long? So when I read that too, my first question was, how long has he been retired? I mean,
Yes.
he's in decent shape. It's not that. It's just like it's different, right? Uh,
Yeah.
Running around the block and running a mile is different than sprinting across the mat. You know?
Correct. Correct. I mean, they're kind of have to go with the smarts, right?
Yeah.
A little bit with him. I'm not saying he's going to not be able to do any physical
No.
tasks, but
No.
man, 59, I mean, you're really, he
Yeah.
doesn't look like he's in bad shape by any
No.
means, but
I mean, I would have them like right now, like, yeah, 8 to 10 range.
I kind of have to agree with you there. I think like high point maybe 5'6", and that's really high.
Sure. Sure.
So I just have concerns about him, but I think they're going to have to, kind of pace themselves and pick their roadblocks wisely if they
Mm-hmm.
want to go far. I
Right.
just, retired police chief. I mean, generally, you can kind of retire a little earlier when you're in
Right.
that line of work. I think it's like 25 to 30 years a lot of times, maybe even
Right.
20 years. So,
Right.
yeah. So I think, but I mean, retired police chief in Chicago. It's not an easy job by any means. So
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be I think he's going to be battle tested.
Certainly. Yeah.
So
Certainly.
just depends on how good you're going to be with navigation. So,
Right.
especially with a team that's not the most, physical, I think you got to be really good at navigation. So,
Right.
we'll
Right.
see. Yeah, I got them probably like 7 to 10, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
High, and then like best case scenario with them 5 or 6. So, all right, next team. We got Ham Nugent and Holden Nugent. Han is 26, former energy consultant, and Holden is a college student at Stanford. They are siblings in Los Gatos, California. All right. So, Calbert, this team is the youthful team.
Yeah.
Last season, we had a team that was siblings,
Yep.
and they went out, what, first episode?
Yep. Yep.
They were about the same ages and same career, almost like the same trajectory, almost.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Siblings generally don't do very well on this show, and young siblings in particular really don't do well on this show. They're towards
Yeah.
the but
I mean, there's been some like early seasons we've
yeah,
had some good brother and sister, but it's
yeah,
been a while, I think,
yeah,
since we've seen something like that. Because I mean, generally their life experiences are somewhat similar because they grew
right,
up in the same house,
right,
but I mean, he's 26, he's a little older, but she's 22. I don't think she's got a lot of. She might have some traveling experience, but I mean, for something like this team, I do, unless they're if they can keep up.
mm-hmm.
I think I got like 11 to 14 potential on them.
I could see that. Yeah, I could
Yep.
see that. Yeah,
They're I mean, who knows? But I don't really have high expectations for this team.
Right.
So,
Right.
so you kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
I think their youth is going to be their downfall.
Yeah, it kind of seems like it. So we'll see though. We'll see. Stranger things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next team we got is Jackie Clayton and Lauren McKinney. Jackie is 51. She's a talent acquisition architect, and Lauren McKinney is a corporate event strategist. They are sisters from Waco, Texas. So, corporate events, pretty familiar with that. Just it's kind of like parties and stuff, or
Yeah, I mean, well, we generally have to see that like at one point where like the object is like to try to get a group of people to get from one point of the street to the other point of the street. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be helpful for them. I'm concerned though because they're sisters, so I can tell you right now, sisters bicker more than brothers do.
Yes.
It just
Yes.
happens. They're also older. They're towards the bottom of my list, and your turn.
Yeah, I mean they don't look like they look like they're in good shape for their ages, but
Yeah, certainly.
yeah, sister team on the older scale, I mean they're gonna have to really use their life experience to try to get some wins, or at
Right.
least starve off elimination.
Right.
I mean, I will say though, there's a lot of older, not teams per se, but older people on the show. And they, well, some of these older teams are going to have to move on. So, they all can't be out in first. So
True.
I'm going to say they're going to be a 9 to 12 range. I don't think they're going to be the last place team. Would it shock me if they get eliminated first? No, but I think, I don't know. I'm going to say 9 to 12.
Right.
So not very high on them, but they do have some interesting careers. I will say that.
Right.
So, all right, let's go next. Next, we got Jonathan Towns and Anna Towns. Jonathan is 42. He's a software developer, and Anna Towns is a stay-at-home mom. They are married parents from Pomona, California. So this one's interesting because Jonathan looks in really good shape.
Yep.
He's also pretty smart to be a software engineer. He's got some brains on him, and looks like he's decently athletic. But stay-at-home mom, that could be deceiving, right? Like I'm sure she's had some type of career at some point. So
yeah, and I believe it wasn't that long ago. I believe it was season 34, where it was like the there was a stay-at-home mom. I believe like it was a married couple that ended up winning, and she was like a stay-at-home mom.
wasn't the Holderness, was it?
I don't think so. It Give me a minute. I'll think about it.
Okay. No, I think she was a news reporter or newscaster at some point.
Okay.
I think she did have some type of career. I don't know if she may have been retired at that point because I think they kind of transitioned to social media.
That's right. That's right.
If I'm going at face value though, like just face value, and let's just say she's been a stay-at-home mom for 15 years.
Well, that would make her 20.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. It's possible. Or, 15, 10, let's just say, for a long time.
Sure.
She may not have a lot of life experience as far as, doing different jobs, doing different skills. I don't know. I mean, obviously staying at home is a skill because you got to be able to clean and, raise your kids. But who knows? But he is a software engineer. They are on that kind of cusp of they're younger, but they have more intelligence.
Right.
I think this is a top 6 team. I on the onset, I think they're top 6.
Yeah, I think it's a top echelon team.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that because being a software engineer, software developer, he's got to think about a lot of different things. Not just puzzles and math and stuff, but he also has to, and he has to do it quickly too. That's going to be, a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
He has to think quickly. that could
Yes.
benefit them.
Yeah, it's interesting with this because I mean, is he introvert, extrovert? Who knows what type his
Mm-hmm.
personality is, but just
Right.
kind of looking at his career, looking at his build, I mean, I think they could do pretty well here. I think they're going to be a tougher team. So, all right, going next, we got Mark Crawford and Larry Graham. Mark is 63, he's a retired firefighter, and Larry Graham is 59, retired firefighter. They are best friends from Watertown, Tennessee, and Bartlett, Tennessee.
Do you want to just remind everybody what you just said not 2 minutes ago about retired firefighters?
Well, actually, I mean, I think I'm done with picking firefighters. I'm sure you're done picking
I'm done.
firefighters.
They're towards the bottom of my list. We can move on.
Yeah, I mean, you picked them 10 years ago?
Good.
I think did you pick you picked two firefighters?
I did. I got burned both times. Dun.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, firefighters in this show do not do well.
No,
I
they
do
don't.
not know what it is. Then you add the retired aspect to it and the ages.
Right.
I hope they prove us wrong and they go for a really long run because they look kind of like they could be a fun team.
Mm-hmm.
But do you see them going out first episode?
No.
I think they're going to stay longer than that, but I don't think they're going to make it too much further. I'll say 10 to 13.
Yeah, I could see that.
Somewhere in that range. Yeah, just I don't know. The firefighters, for whatever reason, that skill does not translate well to this show. So, all right, next team. We got Melinda Papadias and Erica Papadias. Melinda is 66, administration, and Erica is 32, and she's a client engagement specialist. It's a mother and daughter from Chandler, Arizona, and Inglewood, Colorado. So, I don't see this team going far either.
No. The first thing that jumped out was the mother's age. I was like, nope, you're towards the bottom.
66. That's up there.
Yeah. You could have retired. I mean, she could. I mean, good for her. She chose not to retire. She doesn't have to.
Correct.
But it's 66s. We're pushing it. She will not be the only person that we're mentioning. No, not that she's going to die or her demise is going to be met anytime soon.
Yes.
But there's a couple other 66 other people that we have not touched on yet, or 60 plus. It's not good.
Is this the Amazing Race AARP edition? I'm not against it.
No,
don't get me wrong. This is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
she does look like in good shape, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I hope she does well. I don't think they're going to, but good for them. Hey, they got it on the show.
Correct. Exactly. That's half the battle.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest battle.
Right.
But it just 66. I'm trying to think of some of the older teams that we've had. I know in the early seasons, I think there were maybe a 70-year-old or a couple, or at least late 60s. But there was like a grandma team on there. There was, there's been older teams.
Right.
But when it's that old, they usually don't do that well. So hopefully they're going to get some non-physical tasks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they could stay, on the race if they get kind of lucky with that. So
sure.
All right. So I'm just gonna say, did I say I could say anywhere from 11 to 14 with this team. So
okay, you got them a little bit higher than I do just in my head right now, but
yeah. All right. Okay, next team. We got Nick Fio and Mike Fio. Nick is 32. He's an entrepreneur and podcaster. And Mike Fio is 28, entrepreneur and podcaster. They are brothers from Brooklyn. So podcasters, just like us.
Hello.
And they're entrepreneurs. So could have some other, business on the side.
Sure.
They got the youth going. They look in pretty good shape. I wouldn't say they're like amazingly ripped or anything. They look kind of short, but they're not the youngest team, but they are brothers. So similar skill sets, similar life experiences. I'm gonna say this team kind of could it go? I think anywhere from 5 to 8. What do you got, Kelvin?
That's why I had it, like a top 5 team. I could see maybe top 10 because you're not gonna bat 1,000 every week. So
right,
but I got them kind of up towards the top a little bit. Top 5.
Yeah, it could be that team that's really competitive too. You just never know.
Yeah,
so
true.
I think they're going to be in the race a decent amount. So
right.
I don't know if they're top 4 potential, but I got them 5 to 8, somewhere in there. But honestly though, in this season, they could be a top 3 team.
Could.
So
yeah, true.
All right. Next, we got Jeff Pops Bailey and Jeff Bailey. Jeff Pops Bailey is 65. He's a lumberjack. And Jeff Bailey is 36 and a lumberjack. They're a father and son, and they are from St. Louis. So, all right, these two guys right off the bat are pretty ripped. I'm going to say that.
Yep.
Even Pops Bailey is 65, and he's still pretty ripped. How is he going to hold up in we'll just say it's going to be super, super hot, like in, Japan or somewhere like that, though. Sure. They're good. They're lumberjacks cutting down wood and, hauling wood away.
Yeah.
So interesting, very physical skill set. Any type of like challenge where you got to do like some really hard physical labor, I think they could be pretty good. But he is 65, I think he's going to slow down at some point.
I got them towards, actually, I'm going to ruin it for you. They're at the bottom of my list because he's 65. You're right. Like I agree with you. Like they're if they get like a you have to put this wood into a barrel and
carry it away
or haul it away, or they got that one. They're fine. It's because he's 65, and exactly right to your point. When it gets hot, the older people tend to struggle because it's so hot. It's not their fault. It's just that's how the body works.
That's how it is. Yeah, exactly. You don't
know,
handle the heat so well.
No. And so I got them towards the bottom. Crofton, 65. I wish when I turn 65 that I'm anywhere
looking
close
like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I think I probably got him a little higher than you. Granted, they are two of the same traits.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are they father and son, but they both do, they're both lumberjacks. So they don't have like a lot of skills across the board.
Right.
But I still got a little higher. I think they could be 7 to 10.
Okay.
7 to 10 range. So
fair enough. I have been wrong before when it comes to picking teams towards the bottom, and then they surprise me. So
then they just cruise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this team, I don't know, something about them that I think they're going to go. They look like they got personality too. So I kind of like that about them. So I'm going to, bump them up a little bit. So, all right, let's go next here.
Last one.
Next, we got Scott Thompson and Lori Thompson. Scott Thompson is 47, a physician assistant, and Lori Thompson is 49, and she's a stay-at-home mom. Married parents of 8 sons. Salt Lake City, Utah.
Which would explain that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
They're an interesting. This is an interesting couple for me. I have them kind of in the middle. I could see them winning it. That would not surprise me. Consistent. That's helpful. It's the stay-at-home mom that is kind of, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the one
another
little
stay-at-home mom. Yeah.
one little trip up, and I mean, 47 is not 37, which is not 27. So we're
Yeah.
getting there, but obviously in very good shape. I could see them winning it. I really could.
Wow. Wow. You are way higher than me. And I realize I do this every year where I don't have any teams I think have much faith in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just talked about the Holderness family is the oldest team to win it at
Sure.
45 and 46. But they're not like outside of that range too much.
No.
So I think they could be, they could be fine. I just don't think I don't know. I think man, if I said the Lumberjacks 7-10, and I kind of almost like them better. So I'm going to bump the Lumberjacks to 5-8, and I'm going to put this team 7-10.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I don't know. Not saying they're not going to be a good team, but I just don't see anything that's really striking with them. So,
right.
But who knows? We will be changing this pretty quickly in a couple days. So,
yep.
So, all right. Now it is time for our rankings, pre-rankings. We got to do it. We got to make the list. So 14. So Calbert, try to remember all 14 because I know it kind of gets tough to remember where we rank, especially the preseason. So,
sure.
All right. You want to start, Calbert? Who is your 14th team? Also, I got to ask something too.
Yep.
Before you go, we have 14 teams, right?
Yep.
How many episodes do we usually get with Amazing Race? 10 or 11, right?
Yeah, we tend to get 10 or 11. Yep.
So I'm wondering, are they going to be eliminating? Well, if you figure it out, you have 3 teams that make it to the end. There's 11. I suppose then they could just do one a week. I guess that could happen. But I almost feel like they're going to do a double elimination at some point.
I could see that.
Yeah, I really do. I think there's going to be a double elimination episode. And they've done it before. They've actually done elimination even before they left for the first plane ride.
True.
So you never know what they're going to do. 14 teams seems kind of excessive. But anyways, sorry. Go ahead. No, so 14. Who's your 14th place 14. Team?
It's the Baileys. It's the Lumberjacks. I'm a Lumberjack and I'm okay. It's 65 and 36. Appreciate you.
Wow.
I like St. Louis a lot. You're last.
Oh, wow. That is harsh, especially when you got some other teams out here. Mm-hmm. But okay.
You're gonna see the trend. You're gonna see a trend. It won't take long.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna win, but wow. Okay, so 14. I gotta go here. So I was gonna give it to the brother and sister team, but I don't think that's gonna happen 2 years in a row. I think it's gonna be the Courtney Ramsey and Jasmine Carey, the nurses.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know what it is about that team, but they kind of do have youth on their side, but I feel like something's going to break with them. So I got them going out first. All right. I guess I will start with my 13th place team. 13. Oh boy. 13. I got to go. 13. I am going to go with the mother and daughter team, the Papa Diaz team.
Yep,
you go with them at 13.
Yep, that's exactly what I had. I have them right at 13. Yep.
All right. Calbert, you want to give your 12?
12. I got Mark Crawford and Larry Graham. It's just because they're older. I'm sure their friendship was going to last, but it's just because they're.
So. Okay, and that is the retired firefighters. Okay.
Yes, correct. Yes.
All right. I actually got for 12. I got the physician assistant and the stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
Yep, from Utah, the married couple. So that is my 12th. 11th. Boy, I'm gonna go retired firefighters here because Yeah, something's gonna catch up to them.
Fair
So
enough.
they look in good shape, though. Honestly, I think we're kind of sleeping on them a little bit, but I'm gonna go with them at 11.
Okay.
All right, who's your 11th?
My 11th is Jackie Clayton and Lauren McKinney from Waco, the talent acquisition architect and the corporate event strategist.
Okay, that's a good pick. All right. You want to go with your 10th?
10, I have Ernest Cato and Bridget Cato, the father-daughter, the retired police chief, and the account supervisor. I just think math is going to be involved pretty early. I think that they can survive the first couple weeks.
Yeah, no, I got that. I'm actually going to go for my 10 is Jackie and Lauren, the talent acquisition architect and the corporate event strategist for 10. Yeah, I think that age is going to catch up with them. All right, 9. Oh, 9, I'm going to go with the brother and sister here for sure. I don't think they're going too much further. I think the youth will get them out of some situations because they can't do as bad as the other brother and sister team from last season. So I got them at 9.
9, I have Han and Holden Nagun,
Okay.
the siblings, the ones from California, the consultant and the Stanford student.
Yep. Okay. So we got them at the same spot. Okay. Who's your number 8 team?
Number 8, I have I'm gonna go with Carson and Jack.
Okay, the video game
streamers. Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty good spot with them. Actually, for 8, I'm going to go with the Ernest and Bridget, the retired chief and the account supervisor from Chicago and Massachusetts. All right, number 7 for me. 7, I'm going to go with the video game streamers, Carson and Jack. So 7's pretty good for them, I think, at this point. So I'm going to go with them at 7. All right. Who's your 7?
7, I'll take Bernie, Gutierrez, and Kerrigan, the personal trainer and the spa educator. I just think that the youth is going to be helpful for them. I'm a little worried that one being a personal trainer, but we'll see how that goes.
All right. Who's your 6th?
6th, I have. Let's go. Alyssa Borden and Josiah Borden, the married couple, like the very first couple that we mentioned.
The
anesthesias from Philly.
Oh yeah, okay. The anesthesias. Okay, gotcha. So for 6, I got to go. Geez, stupid web page here. I am 6. I am gonna go with Bernie and Kerrigan, the personal trainer and spa educator.
Okay.
So for 5. Did them? Have I not? No, I did pick them. Let's go with. I'm going to go with the for 5. I'm going to go with the podcasters, the brothers team. I think they're going to make it to the top 5, but yeah, I don't know. That's where I got them going out. So, Yep. Who's your 5?
My 5 is the Thompsons, Scott Thompson and Lori Thompson. I think they could surprise some people.
Wow, we are way separate on those two for some reason. But this is good. This is good. All right, so you got them at 5. So that means you would go to 4 then. You'd start 4.
So I have Nick and Mike Fiorito, right? The podcasters and entrepreneurs, right?
Theo.
Oh, Theo. My
Just
apologies.
Theo.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. Okay, that's your 4. That's a good pick. Solid pick. I don't think I've done this team, and I kind of realized I forgot to pick them, but I got the Lumberjacks at 4.
Okay.
Now we're way off on them, so I got to get them out at 4 here because they're not a top 3 team, but they have potential to be outside of it. So, all right, for my number 3 here. Oh boy. I am gonna go with Jonathan and Anna, the software developer and stay-at-home mom. I think they're a top 3 team. So I'm going to put them at 3. Okay. Who's your number 3?
My number 3 is Brett Hamby and Mark Roman, the acrobat and dancer model, the married couple, people from Vegas.
Okay. All right. My number 2. Oh, I'm sorry. You start with 2.
My number 2 is Carson and the people from Brooklyn, the streamers, the best friends, the 20 and 27-year-old from Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. So you are high on the video game streamers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. It's kind of a little okie doke there for you.
Well, I think I had them a little middle of the pack, but I don't think they could be a top team. Sure. All right. My number 2 team, I am going to go with the Anesthesias, Josiah and Alyssa from Philadelphia, and they're married. So I'm going to go with them. I think they got a lot of balance. So that is my number 2. And then I guess I start with my number 1. I'm going to go with the married couple from Vegas. I just think they're gonna be a tough out.
Yep.
They got kind of, from watching this show, they got all the tools, and they got youth, and they are performers, and they're gonna nail the performance challenges, I think. So they're my number 1 team right now. So who's your number 1?
My number 1 is Jonathan and Anna. I almost took when I just looked at the pictures and I found out that it was the acrobat and the dancer. I was like, that has Amazing Race team written all over it. However, yes. The other thing that we know about Amazing Race is that married couples tend to do very, very well in this, and that happens to be a married couple. Now, I'm concerned that she's a stay-at-home mom, but I like the fact that at least they're young and they're, I think they could win it. I really do. And so 42 and 35, yeah, they're from California. That doesn't really. They could be from Timbuktu. I'd probably still take them. But the fact that he's a software developer, I think engineer is really going to help. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But being the fact that they're a married couple, I like that. I like that pick. So.
Sure. So basically, you're high on the stay-at-home moms.
I am.
Not very high on the father-daughter or father-son or mother-daughter teams.
Yeah,
so
correct.
All right, got it. Okay, so that's our power rankings, and these are sure to change, obviously.
Certainly.
And you hate the lumberjack team. I got that. Okay, and I got them at number 4. I don't know if I had it planned that way, but they made it to 4, so I got to give it to them. Right. All right, so now we got to do our picks. So I had the firefighter team last season that went out like midpoint. I think there were 6 or 7. So obviously I got eliminated first. I got the first pick here, and I don't think we have the same teams that we're picking, so I don't think you'll have to worry. But I'm going to go with the Anesthesias, the 31 and 32-year-old, the friends. So okay. Josiah and Alyssa.
Yeah.
So, well, you know what's? Oh, yeah, they are. They're married, and like you said, they're married. So, right. I think I kind of like that aspect. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with Jonathan and Anna. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
That's a solid pick. I do like that pick.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if it ends up being if we're right, with it possibly being the acrobat and the dancer, right?
Yeah, I think that's the team that just. I think they're kind of like the team to beat right now, right? Just going off preseason.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
But I think you got a solid pick there. I do like them a lot. I think they could go far. I think both our teams, minus any crazy stuff happening, are gonna be in the show for a while at least. So,
Sure.
which makes it fun. So let's do the pick of Goldberg here. Who do you think Goldberg would actually pick if he didn't read spoilers?
If he didn't read the spoilers, I honestly think he would probably take Brett and Mark.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
He generally likes those type of the male teams. So
Hey, they tend to do well too. I mean,
they do. I can't blame him. I really can't blame him. They haven't steered him wrong. So, I mean, I think that's probably who he would take. So,
right.
So, but no, that's good stuff there. We got our picks in. Calbert, you're looking for your first ever first place victory. I'm looking to get off the schneid here. I've had some picks that haven't worked so well lately, and hoping to get back in that top 3, which has been a while. So, all right, Calbert. So what do we got in store for this first episode? I don't know if you got a preview up or not, but
yeah, they're gonna start in LA. We
Yep.
know that. We know they're starting in LA, and they're gonna race for the $1 million. Let me see if I can. The name of the episode is Double the Stakes.
Ooh, double the stakes. That can mean a lot of different things.
Yep. Double the stakes, double the eliminations. So there you go. We're double eliminations started off. Phil returns to host season 37. Featuring this time 14 globe traveling teams competing for the $1 million. The season of surprises, in quotes, which features the largest cast ever in the history of the race. Which that goes back to our previous point. I was like, I think this is the biggest team, the biggest race they've ever had, which it is.
Yeah, 14. Yep.
Sees the new cast. Sees the new teams encounter game-changing twists in every episode, including the classic game pieces, the fast forward and U-turn, and the addition of the new ones such as Fork in the Road. Stops include Osaka, Japan, where the teams experience a modern-day bullet train in a thriving city, and then immerse themselves in a 12,000-year-old tradition and the countryside of Bulgaria, where they participate in a traditional folk dance. So, kind of sounds like they're hitting 3 countries in one, because they're going to start here in the United States, they'll go to Japan, and then they'll go to Bulgaria. So,
all in one episode.
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so 14 teams, double the stakes, double the eliminations. Kind of figured that they would have a double elimination. Is that just going to be like one episode where they have double eliminations?
That's what it says as of right now for the first episode.
Okay.
That's the name of the episode. So double the stakes, double elimination. So there you go. So that's
okay.
Gonna, they're going to eliminate
that makes sense, and I think that might only be for episode 1.
Yep.
And that would make sense for the fact that they're doing Japan and Bulgaria. So I think you're going to get one team out in Japan, and then you're going to get another team out in Bulgaria. So
Yep.
That's a really interesting course, though. Like they're going basically from Asia up to Europe.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, this season's for sure to be controversial with all the different stuff that's going to take place in it, I think.
Yep.
And I think there's going to be some social game aspect, because if the U-turn's going to be back, and fork in the road, that sounds pretty interesting already. So we've seen some new twists, like when they had to do the one-on-one, to move on and not get eliminated. I can't remember what that was called, but that was kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to it. I think tomorrow's going to be a good episode.
Should be 90 minutes. 90-minute episodes return for anybody that wants to watch. Starts at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Don't forget to switch your clocks forward for those of you guys that do daylight savings time. We don't do that here in Arizona.
Lucky.
Yeah. So 90-minute episodes are back. The Amazing Race is back. Let's go.
All right, awesome. And we'll be back. Where they're going to be doing our recap show on Thursday or Monday. It's going to be one of those 2 dates. So we will be back. So for Calbert, any last words?
Yep. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. For Hurls, I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good night. We'll see you.
Bye.